So we have an input element. This takes number, anything, and when we press plus, we want whatever number is here, we want that number to be added to our counter. Let's do that. First, let's make our input element explicitly say that it will accept text, and then we want to read the value. So input amount. Okay, now we don't need the counter increment. Let's get rid of it for now. We need the button counter. That's fine. Actually name button add expense, add expense, add expense. Sorry. To total. Okay, let's clear this. Let's save this. Let's do refresh. It's not defined. Yes, it's not defined. It's giving the error. Add expense to total is not defined. Cool. So what do we need to do? Let's write it down. We need to read value from input amount, init value of expense at 0 on button click add input amount to total expense. Now this will go at first you initialize your total expense till now to 0. Every time there's a button click, every time there's a button click, you read value from input, convert it to number because this is text, add that value to input, add that value to total expense. Okay, so once you have figured out what you need to do in a program, it's very easy to write the program. This is how the flow will be. Let's just go ahead and do it. Init value of expense, let's say let total expense equals 0. This is on button click add input to total expense. So we have given on button click this function add expense to total. Let's make that function. Function name is add expense to total. Now all of this will happen inside the function, right? So that's why the indentation when commenting. So now read value from input amount. That's easy. We just const input element equals document dot query selector. See, one thing you have learned, it will be useful everywhere. Input amount. So now you have the value. No, to get the value you need to have const text amount equals input element dot value. Sorry, not this, not required. Let's just see if it is working. When you are starting to program, it's better to test your program in smaller numbers. Okay, let's see if there's any error. If this is working till now, if we say 100, say plus, cannot read property value of null, query selector input amount. See, oh my god, I make so many mistakes. Refresh, 100 plus. So see, up until here everything is working. We are reading value from here 100, this this value, and we are getting the text amount. Okay, now we convert it to number. So const expense equals to %. So this is a function which converts string to a number, give it a string which is a number, and give the base. Again, MDN for all these references, but you can just hover on this and see. This is why I love VS Code. So expenses %, text amount 10. Let's see if this is working. So this is a small trick when you are printing too many things to console. Put a bracket around it. This makes it a object, a variable with the same key value. We'll cover objects later, but learn this trick for now. So say 100, say 101 this time. So the text amount is C string, so the quotes are there because this is a string, and converted to expense. This is how it looks. This is how objects look. We'll cover. See prototype object. Wait for the time. So this is working, right? Now add that value to total expense. So how do we add? We say total expense equals expense plus, sorry, total expense plus expense, right? So the expense you had. One thing about semicolons are not necessary in JavaScript. I'm putting it because it has become a habit working in my office where we do put semicolon, but it's not necessary. So sometimes if I forget, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. So now this should work. Let's refresh. 105 plus works. Let's add 200 to 105. So 305. It prints expense. Very nice. We forgot to print the total expense. Console.log total expense, right? Let's refresh. 100, 100, 100, right? Now tell me. 200, 200, but 300, because 100 plus 200 is 300. So our program works. Now we have everything in place. Things are working. Let's just delete the console.log. We don't need this. Okay. Next thing which we need to do is we need to show this total expense here somewhere as a text so that you remember how much money you are spending. Let's see in next lesson how to write to DOM. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this one.